The room that you're in is keeping you small. Say it again. The room that you're in is keeping you small. I want you to think about the highest version of yourself, and I want you to think about what the difference is between you right now and you then. All that the difference is the gap, and that gap can be closed by a few simple things that we're going to talk about in this video. So first of all, I want you to think about the rooms that you're usually in, whether that's for sport, whether that's for school, whether that's just your friends, whether that's your homies, whether that's your work circle. I want you to think about the type of conversations that take place in this. I want you to think about the type of goals, the aspirations, obviously there's fun and jokes and stuff like that, and there's a time and place for that. But from where you see yourself, I want you to think, like I said, that future version of yourself, I want you to keep that in your mind. That version of you, would they be in this room? Would they be enjoying these type of conversations as much as you're doing it? Now, here and there is okay, but like as much as you're doing it. Would they be going out as much as you're going out? Would they be partying as much as you're partying? Would they be watching movies and chilling and scrolling as much as you're doing that? So I want you to think about those things before we get into this video, and make sure you keep that frame as I go on and continue what I'm saying. So I'm sure you've heard the quote that you're the sum of the five most people that you spend your most time around. There's two things about that quote. One, I think it's very true for the people that you hang around and the things that you do. They very much can influence your thought process from when you're a kid to when you're older, to religious beliefs, to your thought processes, to what you see, how you see the world, and everything that's possible. If the only people that you've ever hung around in your life are Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Steve Jobs, and Bill Gates, all those people like that, if those are the only people that you hang around, obviously you're going to become a billionaire tech founder, or you're going to do something amazing, you know what I'm saying? Versus if you hang around with LeBron James, Steph Curry, John Morant, basketball players for people who don't know, but you're going to become a great basketball player. So in the same way, if the people that you hang around are doing nothing, they have no plans for their life, they don't have any goals or any aspirations, and all they do is just sit around and joke all day or smoke or do whatever they do, then you're not really gonna, like, you're gonna become exactly what they are. And if that's what you want to do, fine, you can go ahead and click off this video right now, you got it. But if you have bigger aspirations and dreams for yourself, then I'm gonna stop you right there, and I want you to think about a couple things. And the second thing I was saying about that is the quote is a little bit outdated. I'm gonna touch more on it in a little bit of the video, but in the day and age of technology, people take that quote and just think about their friends and assume that's okay. You need to think about the stuff that you're watching, the YouTubers that you watch, the doom scrolling, the entertainment, the shows. If your top five most watched things are Love Island, James Charles, or some random, I don't know why I thought about that first, but just some random YouTuber. Not to say like those things are bad, but like, you get what I'm saying. That's going to influence the way you think and the way you see the world. So you're going to see it all like that and through that lens. So that's going to be the type of life you're going to be. So if that's what you watch and that's the type of stuff you consume, but your goals are to be a millionaire, like, you see how that's not lining up. It's not adding up. So that's the first thing, just understanding that those things and the things that for the life that you want need to correlate in that sense. So both of those things work hand in hand and work together for that too. And then also your environment. So if you wake up and right next to you, actually, first of all, let's do some frame. You want to be a bodybuilder, that's a six pack. And first thing you do in the morning, you wake up at 10 a.m. Right next to you have potato chips, got ice cream in the fridge, and you have no gym membership, and your closest gym is 15 minutes away. Will you become a bodybuilder? Probably not. Versus if you wake up at 6 a.m., you have no snacks or nothing. You got a smoothie in there, you make your smoothie, you go to the gym, it's 5 minutes away, you got a membership, you lock in, get your gym work done, all you have is healthy snacks and bananas. Like, that person will become a bodybuilder because of their environment. Take it even a step further. Now, let's say that person has all those great habits in their personal life, but their friends is eating content creator, and the second friend likes burgers and cheeseburgers, and the third friend DoorDashes all the time. So he's going to eventually fall into those habits, even if he doesn't want to, if those are the people that he hangs around. If you're trying to meal prep and all that stuff, and you hang around people who order pizza 4 or 5 times a week, and again, not saying this is bad, but for the goals and aspirations that the bodybuilder has set for themselves, that is not great for them. So pizza gets here, 4th, 5th time, like, you're not resisting pizza 5, 6 times. So you eat the pizza and then you're slowing down your progress. So now you're not going to get to your goal and reach the highest peak that you could have if you were as locked in as you wanted to be. So again, now let's take it a step further than that. Now their friends and their circle around them is great. Now friends are eating healthy, everybody's going to the gym, it's all cool. So everything in their personal life is great. Now that third sphere that I thought about, or that I talked about earlier, is the social media space. So now let's say that, and their favorite creators are Jay Bolin, who else does food reviews? I don't know, anybody that does food reviews, and they're all watching these people eating these mac and cheese and blah, 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 and their favorite stuff. So now he's driving by 2 restaurants, Kava, and he's driving by, I don't know, fill in the blank restaurant here, like some steakhouse that he saw his favorite YouTuber go to. Now he's thinking, okay, I know I'm supposed to go here, but such and such just had that. I can do it. I can let myself off the hook. And again, I'm not saying this to say you can never have fun, you can never let loose or any of that stuff. I'm saying the goal that this person has set for themselves. You fall to the level of your system. So if he has this system in place and he's subconsciously all week been programming himself that he wants to get steak, he's going to fall in and get steak. Now, if he didn't want steak or he wanted kava and he'd been watching that type of stuff, then he wouldn't do that. So that's what I mean by just the different levels of systems and stuff that you can have in place. And that's why more than ever in this day and age, what you consume is important. It's always been important, but even more so now because brain rot and just videos and just irrelevant things are at all-time high. Like back then, all they had was Apple. Like Newton was watching apples fall and figuring out gravity. Like we don't do that anymore. Nobody sits in silence. Nobody thinks in their thoughts. Any silence or any type of space is either occupied by sleep or a screen of some type. So what you consume is very important. So being mindful, even just with that, like little things, I want you to think, look at your screen time. I encourage you to just look at the past YouTube videos or whatever you've watched and look at what you've consumed over the last hour or so, or 2 hours, or just today or this week, whatever you've consumed. And I want you to look at those things and say, do these point towards my goals? If they don't, and you truly, truly want to get there, just, you know what, maybe you can't cut off 100%. Start off with half. Every other reel you watch or every other YouTube video you watch for 20 minutes for doom scrolling, you watch productive videos for another 20. And what you'll find is if that's truly your goal, you're going to like doing that more. It's just harder to get yourself to do it because it's harder action for you. Because doom scrolling is like so easy, so accessible, that versus doing whatever you need to do with it, with your goals. So if you're pointing towards your goals, you're like them with that, it'll make more sense. And just these small changes can just so easily change the trajectory of your life. Like if you, like I'm saying, I keep using this and pointing like this direction and this direction are different for a reason. You can't go this way while doing this. So if you want to be a millionaire, you can't spend all your money on stupid things. If you want to be a great basketball player, then you can't spend all your time messing around with friends. If you want to be great at fitness, you can't eat pizza all the time. Like it's the same thing. They're in opposite directions. And the thing with social media and friends in this space and just your own thoughts is that type of stuff influences how you think and how you believe. So that type of stuff changes like your beliefs and like your thoughts and like who you think you are. So as much as you can say, like, that's just my friends, like I don't do that. And that might be true in this area of your life. But in some area, you have been influenced in some way. Maybe it's like, it can be something as small as like a word that you say. If your friends say cool or type, you never caught yourself saying that, and now you've said that type of thing. And that's a small micro example, but like that's something subconscious that can be blown up into a very big thing if you're not careful and aware of it. So this is what I'm saying. I just want to bring it to your attention. If that's the type of thing you want to be, and that's the type of person you want to be, you got to make sure you go that way instead of this way. So where are my points? I had 3 points. Okay, first of all, change what you consume. So I want you to think about what you're consuming. Same thing we've been saying across the video. Understand what you're consuming. It's anything, just like think of it like an appetite. If you want to be healthy, you're not going to eat cheeseburgers and fries all day. So you can have it for every once in a while, but the majority of your meals, the majority of your calories need to go towards something healthy if you want to live a healthier lifestyle. It's simple as that. Number 2, assess the room that you're in. So if you want to be a millionaire and friend number 1 doesn't want to do anything with their life, friend number 2 wakes up at 1 p.m. and does nothing, friend number 3 is doing whatever, and then you have one friend that wants to do it, like that might work. But if y'all are all hanging around as a group, you're going to get pulled down by the masses. So if those people aren't doing what it's going to do, they're going to hold you back to an extent. Now, you get to decide if that's worth it or not. Like, I have friends in my life that are doing, it's like trying to achieve the same things as me, and I have friends that aren't. That doesn't mean I'm going to cut them off and not hang out with them. Like, I love hanging out with my homies. So it's like, it's just what you tolerate and what you can achieve. And like, if you still feel like you can get your goals done and stay on track, then I say do it. But number 3, never shrink to benefit other people. Kind of goes hand in hand with what I was saying about the last thing. But if you know that you're in a room with people that just aren't rising up to the standard that you want to be, and let's say you come in, you want to, I use business and the stuff as an example because it's important to me, but let's say you come in, you want to talk about, hey guys, I just learned this, and they're like, okay, cool, whatever, and they don't really care about that. So instead, like, you kind of shrink and you don't really think about that. Now let's say they're talking about Love Island, and then now you just watch more Love Island videos and stop watching your business videos because of the room that you're in and you want to fit in with that room. Don't ever do that. Unless that's your goal to do that, then do it. But if your goal is to do this, then you don't ever just adjust to what it is. Like, you have to be a thermostat, not a thermometer. You need to set the temperature and not match it. So if that's your goals and that's what you want to do for yourself, then you got to make sure that you're set on your own direction and doing your own thing. But that's all I got for this video. Leave a comment if you're seeing it, but let me know. what topics you want to see in the future. Whenever you're seeing this, which will probably be much later, but we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.